I'm at Calgary Zoo. I'm going to pick my favourite animal here and then I'm going to paint a movie based on that animal.
I'm painting my number one favourite Calgary Zoo animal in gouache paint onto paper that's been stretched onto wooden board. The penguins were so cute and one of the first animals that we saw at the zoo. We were lucky to get there at feeding time, so they were really active under the water. And this one was bobbing his head up and down, which the staff told me was because they see better under the water and were watching the people. She actually told me off for bobbing my head up and down with the penguins, as apparently it was too interesting to them. I did stop when she told me, but I have to say I did find that kind of amusing. I'm using cerulean blue and ultramarine blue together for highlights and shading. I've not got any big plans for this picture, it's just a sketch that I'm having fun making as a reminder of a nice day at the zoo. It's nice to paint with no pressure and not having to worry about being scruffy. As far as zoos go, I was really impressed at how active the animals were and generally easy to spot. I really enjoyed the Canadian wildlife section at the zoo. We've been on lots of trips through the Canadian Rockies over the years and have spotted loads of animals, including an up-close grizzly bear that we saw this year. But I've never seen wolves in the wild, and the Calgary Zoo wolves were really active and a proper pack, chasing each other around and keeping each other company. I'm trying hard to make the blackboard section of the painting flat in the midsection, but with highlights to the side to create interest and stop it dominating. I'm not great at painting flat paint, so it's taking time to get rid of the paint stroke effect. I'm not the best at painting teeth, but I'm doing my best here. I'm painting almost all of the teeth in a pale grey with a tiny dab of yellow and just a bright white highlight to the bottom right. The tiger at the zoo was pacing up and down, as tigers often do at the zoo. He was constantly roaring here though, so I'm not too sure if he was bored or if it was the heat or something, but he seemed a little sad. The grizzly bear was asleep, but the black bears were super active. Because we came during school time, the zoo was really quiet, which meant we got a great view of the animals. But sadly, it also meant that when it came to lunchtime and snacks, most of the kiosks for food were closed, so options were pretty limited for dinner. It was nice food in the restaurant though, and we all got burgers and fries. I can't believe how orange the porcupines' teeth were. The Hydraxes here were so adorable, but when you look close at their faces, they have little fangs like mini vampires. I'm not sure if you can start to guess what creature this painting is, but I'm using a mix of burnt sienna, black and white for his furry hands. The hippos were awesome. We were so lucky to see them just before feeding time. They were laying down, then got up and walked to the water, swam across and then lined up for their dinner. They're actually really cute. I'm a dog person and not a cat person, and lions might be the kings of the jungle, but in the zoo they are always so boring. As usual, they just laid there doing very little. I'm hoping the picture is coming out well enough that you can guess who he is at this point. I'm painting texture and highlights into his fur. The dinosaur section in the zoo is actually a really nice place to walk around, and if we'd had a picnic, this would have been a nice place to eat. The landscape's made to look just like Drumheller and the Badlands, and the dinosaur figures are a nice touch for little kids to enjoy. I'm not focusing much on a detailed background for this, it's just generally white to cover the blank paper. I've painted eyes in a mid-yellow. Black squirrels are really common in urban Calgary, and it was only after our trip to the zoo that I found out that they were originally introduced into Alberta when the 6 eastern black squirrels had escaped from the zoo back in 1929 and wound up outbreeding the general grey squirrel population. In the Dorothy Harvey Gardens.
It's part of the Calgary Zoo experience, and it's the butterfly house, which is why there's all sorts of butterflies around here.
The butterfly house is really good as well. I really like looking at butterflies for a short time, but when they fly at you, you're kind of reminded that they're just a giant insect. If you're older and don't want to have a picnic in the dinosaur section of the zoo, I'd recommend sitting in these gardens. They were really lovely, and in most of the areas you could make out the skyline of Calgary, including the tower, so it was really good for photos. I don't have a lot of drawing equipment out here in Canada, and so I'm using the side of a piece of card along with a short ruler to draw pencil lines along the background of the picture. I finished off the picture with acrylic matte varnish, as I do with almost all of my gouache pictures nowadays, to help seal it. It was really fun filming so many animals at the zoo, and I definitely recommend visiting and wouldn't hesitate to get the yearly pass. Overall, a great day and a great excuse for a fun sketch. That's it, all finished. My picture of Mr. Wolf from Bad Guys after a trip to the Calgary Zoo. If you enjoyed watching the video, don't forget to like and subscribe so I can make more of them, and enjoy painting.